Whew, it's warm in here. It's warm in here today. Turn the AC up just for a second because it's super loud. But I'm gonna have to deal with it because it's too hot. Too hot. We have the elixir back. I found it at a local Albertsons, by the way. You know, as most of you know, I've been sad that it hasn't been Diet Dr. Pepper, but I found it at a local Albertsons and I bought 4 12 packs. I was gonna buy it all, but I thought that would be kind of rude. So hopefully it's on the comeback. Hi, everybody. You're very welcome. I hope you like that new machine. It's a nice one. You lucked out there. All right, so this is how we left off the bag. I don't know, about a week ago or so, and I haven't done anything with it. And the next step is I'm going to bond in a stiffener, and this is just bag stiffener that you can get from Tandy Leather Company or oh, I can't think of the name of the other leather shop. I don't know, Weaver probably has it, I think, and a couple other vendors, but it's just bag stiffener. And I'm gonna bond a piece in the bottom of this bag using just regular old contact cement. And this is what I do with mine. I download, this is just regular old contact cement that I get at Home Depot. This is the DAP brand. And I let it dry out like this for 2 reasons. One is it kind of dissipates the high solid smell. It stinks really bad. And 2, it thickens it up like this. It makes the glue way more sticky. So the caveat to that is you got to use this pretty quick once it gets to this point. So I would only, if you're going to do that, I only recommend using a little bit. That way it doesn't dry out in your jar or whatever you're using. Yeah. So I've already got 1 layer of adhesive in the bottom of this. I'm going to brush in just a little bit more glue to the base of the bag here. And then I'm going to apply some to, I like this, there's a textured side to this stuff and there's a smooth side. I like to glue on the texture side. That kind of gives the glue a bit of a tooth or something to grab onto. It might all be in my head, but that's my logic, so that's what I do. That's set up for just a second, and I'm going to put that in the bottom of that. Here's one problem I have, and that is I'm totally out of antique brass colored feet. I have 3. So this bag's either gonna go footless or I'll have to use nickel. I don't think the nickel will look bad, but it wouldn't be my first choice. This is the feet that I normally use. They're 3/4 inch solid brass feet. I don't know, I think it might be a good contrast. What do you guys think? I think that's okay? Usually I would use like antique brass and on a make like this. So it's either no feet or nickel. I hate it that you can't see. Springfield leather, that's the one, Jerry. Yes, Springfield, they have it. Thank you for that. The comments don't ever stay up, so. Nickel. Springfield, yeah, that's it. I'm not gonna put any zippers in this one. This is gonna have a magnetic closure at the top, and then I'll just have real simple rivets. There's not gonna be nothing super fancy in this bag. Cost of the leather as it is gonna be expensive, so I'm trying to keep the price point on some of our stuff a little lower right now. And if I put nickel down there, I'm gonna want to put nickel up here on the rivets, so, and that's just the way my mind works. I think it'll be okay. It's either that or I don't use anything. I guess I could wait to order some, but that'll be probably late next week as they come from the East Coast, and seeing how unreliable the USPS is right at the moment. Hard to see what's going on in there, but that's basically what it looks like. You just want to make sure that you're going to be having your bag stiffener the seam allowance is on top of the bag stiffener, such as this. And I'll take my roller. I'll just roll that down. Alright. So that'll be nice. Now, ah yes, the lovely train. Said I'm not going to put a bunch of extras in this one, but I think I will put in a little leash for your keys, and we'll make the little piece of leather on the skiver in a moment. So it's going to be a 1/2 inch little piece that will stitch up into the upper trim, and this will hang down inside of the bag with a little leather lace. And Norma, that stiffener I actually buy from Tandy Leather. That comes in like a 4x8 sheet. It's really cheap. It's like 10 or 12 bucks or 15 bucks a sheet or something like that. But you can also buy it from Springfield Leather, which some of our other friends here have mentioned. Okay. Whew. That's way too much. Okay, this is the little piece of leather that I'm going to make for that key leash. I'm going to turn my vacuum on. It's going to be a little noisy. Vacuum plug again. back. Well, you guys pay attention. That's what it's gonna be, Brittany. We're gonna have that sunflower print. It's gonna be the liner. That's why I wish I had antique brass for the feet. I think that would have been a good contrast. Hey, and my cylinder arm does have a speed reducer, but not a needle positioner. I think you can definitely have both. That's not a problem, because the speed reducer is is a separate component. It's not part of the motor. Matter of fact, my console has one on there too. I'll show it to you real quick. It's gonna be a little shaky cam, but this is live, so that's what it is, guys. This contraption is a speed reducer, and this has the this reliable So Quiet 6000 motor on it. Not my favorite motor, but this is a speed reducer. And so basically it's a consequence of gear reduction, and that's how we get the slower speeds and punching power. Quite honestly, I don't really think you need a speed reducer with if you would just to get, this is my, like this motor right here, this is a So Green. This is on my Juki. It's a So Green servo. They're really cheap, and that's probably my favorite servo motor. Matter of fact, I liked them so much I put it on my Skyver, and I also replaced the motor on my cylinder with the same one. I couldn't get myself to replace this one because it works. So, and that motor is entirely different. I don't even know what that is, but it works. So, and it's quiet. But yeah, I don't think you really need to have a speed reducer, in my opinion, with how slow you can get these servos to go now. If you just had a clutch motor, it's entirely different story. But yeah, anyway. Okay. So. Marks here. Veg tan is really thirsty, so sometimes you have to come back and put a second layer of adhesive on there. to where the chrome tan leathers that we often use in our bag making, as most of you do, I'm sure, it's just not the case, especially with this high solids contact cement that's in this jar. This is different stuff. Okay, we'll run this stick here. Okay. Okay. Let's see what's next. My old man spectacles. How you guys doing? You hanging in there? Yeah, the this contact cement is different. This is from Southeast Asia. I have it imported for me from some crafting friends in Korea. But the other stuff that I use is just plain old weld wood. Weld wood from the DAP brand from Home Depot, or you can get it at Lowe's or Ace Hardware or whatever you have. It's everywhere. You can buy it in a quart-sized can, and then just download a little bit of adhesive into some kind of jar, like that little brown jar with the brush. You can buy those at almost anywhere really, or just anything. I like to use these, just a little mason jar like this with these spatulas, and then I just let the glue dry out on the spatula, and then you can take one of these. Well, usually you can just get this off with your fingers, but you can take one of these glue erasers and just erase it right off. Once you break the surface tension of the adhesive, your spatula will come clean again. So that's the way I do it. And I think I have about a dozen of these, and I just keep using them, and then I put these on Shelby's side of the bench, and she usually cleans them off because it irritates her that I leave them like that, but it's okay. Hi, Kathy. Hey, thanks for everybody for joining me over here. Hopefully I haven't missed any comments. This doesn't, the comments don't stay up like they do on Facebook. It kind of dissipates. It's a little odd, but yeah, anyway. Okay, what's next? The image looks backwards to me, but apparently it's right reading, so I'm not going to worry about it. One thing you got to be careful with, in my opinion, this style of machine, this Conso's, is that if you look carefully, you can see my machine started to get a little fussy and make a little noise. And what happens is the kind of memory that the thread has when I'm done with a stitch or something at the very end, it wants to kind of spring back, and with the natural coil of the thread, it wraps right around this. So I'm so tuned into this machine that I can hear when it's starting to get a little crazy on me. So instead of spoiling the run, I'm just gonna kind of ease back on the wheel, the hand wheel, remove the tension from the discs, and now I'm just gonna take up that thread on this side and continue on with the stitch. So what that's done is essentially added additional crazy tension to the machine, and it warns me in advance. Do you hear that? Now it'll continue on smoothly. like this is the point of no return. I think it'll look good. I don't think it'll look as good as this would have, but such is life. So primarily what this little piece of 3-ounce vegetable tan leather with the hole in the center is just a little donut washer to make up some space, because the rivet essentially is too long. If your rivets are too long though, and you set them, they'll tend to bend the post, and then you're going to run into problems later. This is the shortest post rivet that I can get from my supplier. So just make up the difference with a little washer, this little leather washer. Rock and roll. Okay. Do I ever use the right and left foot zipper foot? I use the left only on my machine. Every once in a while, depending on my project, I'll put the right only foot on, and that's just to give me kind of a guideline for making French seams, etc. But mainly I'm running the left only on that one. Don't ask me why, just that's the way I do it. Well, I know why. Mainly because I like to run fairly narrow margins, like on a strap or something, and just having the left only, I can run the drop down guide on the right hand side, and that way I can keep the margins fairly slim on, say, a strap edge or something, and that works out really well. Wouldn't work out that well if you had let's say the stock foot on there, which is really thick and chunky, and unless you're making like sails or something, it's essentially useless in my opinion, but what do I know? one more tool. Buzz this together on my little little ripper. This is a Conso 230. I love this machine. This is we're using this primarily to stitch together liners and in lightweight projects such as bra straps and anything else my girlfriend wants me to fix for her. No, I don't hem jeans. Only Shelby's. I do her stuff, but this is a tough little machine. This is a high-speed garment machine. It's all steel gear driven. There's no internal timing belt or anything. It's all gear driven, and I've got it as slow as this servo motor will go, and it's still fast. But when I first got it with the clutch motor, the thing was awesome. This is an insanely fast machine. This is as slow as it'll go. This is a Text 46 on this machine. Bonded nylon. I run bonded nylon on all of my industrial machines. Industrial machines. I don't have any domestic machines anymore. I used to have it. Well, I still have it. It's in the other room, mothballed. It was a Viking Emerald, I think it was. It was an okay machine, but I pretty much wore the wheels off of that thing. And actually found this at my local sewing machine center when I was buying my Juki, and this machine was right behind it. These actually came out of the same factory in Seattle that unfortunately I believe went out of business. So I picked them both up. Whoa, sorry about that. Okay, let's see how all this adhesive works on. want to be careful with the lighter at this point, because this stuff's pretty flammable. Just trim off this a little bit. Makes it fit nicer in the bottom of the bag. Okay. By just deploying that trick, you could use double-sided tape, I guess, or duct tape. I've seen other crafters do. I typically like to use glue because it's faster, but carpet tape, lots of different things to nail down this seam. Or a lot of people, or maybe you just don't do it at all, or maybe you've learned a little trick. But that will net you some pretty nice results inside of your bags. Your business name myth come from? Well, Shelby named the business actually, but we're kind of into mythology and things like that. If you'll notice that a lot of our names of our bags are named after Viking warriors and Viking princesses. My ancestors are Vikings. So, yeah, that's Shelby's handiwork. This actually was a gift from one of our viewers. Made that for us. But, yeah, it's just something different and something that Shelby and I enjoy. So, that's how that's how she came about it anyway. This is a normal foot on my for a console. This is a smooth bottom foot. All of my feet are smooth bottoms. I don't have any teeth on any of my machines for obvious reasons. But this is the foot I always run. This is going to be a zipper foot, basically. This is a left only, and then you have a right only. So this is my right only, which I rarely use. And I've got several other types of feet. Piping foot. And then these kind of feet here, I've got a bunch of these. And then a welting foot, which I really love. I love this one too. And then these ones here, that's a stock one. But these ones with these little edge guide deals, in my opinion, those are kind of a joke. But you can buy these too if you really want to. This would be cool if you were doing upholstery or something. You wanted to run that in a French seam, like right in the gutter of the seam itself, and then that'll give you, an X offset. So this one is, I think, 1/8 inch. I think, yeah, this is an 1/8. You can get them in like 8, 3/16 and quarter, I believe. Has this little guide that pops up and down. I think they're kind of a gimmick myself. I got a bunch of those too. I've never used them. Anyway. Okay, let's see. What's next? Actually, we can make this thing real quick. flash off for just a second longer. Probably should have skived this a little bit thinner. Let's see what we can do with it. It may not work, but we'll find out. Pretty thick. But I'm going to give it a try. Yeah, I wish I would have skived that a little thinner, but such is life. See what happens after I sew it. Maybe it'll behave after I sew it. If not, now this bag just won't get one, or I'll make another one. No big deal. Probably could have ran some double-sided tape on there, but fairly committed now. very end, I'll like to take this and put the knot right in the middle of the leather by pulling on both ends. Same for this end too. Let's give it a nice little tug. Puts the knot right in the center where you want it. That might work. That might work. See if I can find a rivet that's gonna work. A little rivets in this guy. Okay, so it's a little bit too thick, so I'm just going to take my hammer and flatten that down a little bit. flatten this end a little bit too. That way when I stitch that onto the upper trim, it doesn't want to make a witness mark. Pooch out all weird. Okay. It's an hour-long video so far, actually 80 minutes. So I'm going to end this video now, and we'll conclude it on another episode. This will probably be just one more episode. I got to, the last thing we're going to do is install the feet, show you how to do that. We're going to install the upper liner trim on this with a magnetic clasp with the little leash, and then we'll drop the liner in and top stitch it and install the straps. We'll make and install the straps. I don't know if I'll do the straps live or not. I already have another video that shows you how to do that. And this bag will be complete. So thanks everybody for hanging out with me live at the Myth Leather Studios in Marysville, Washington. It's been a lot of fun. Future construction site. Well, it is an active construction site. Here we are in the hood, Marysville. Take care, everybody. See, I can figure out how to end the video. I don't know how to end the video. Do you guys have any more questions, by the way, before I figure out how to end the video? I have no idea how to end the video. Maybe just X. How